Let's get brutally honest for a moment. The traditional 9 to 5 job structure, it was never designed to build wealth. It was designed to build reliability, to create predictable, manageable employees who show up, do what they're told, and keep the wheels turning. Think about it. You wake up early, rush through traffic, sit at a desk, and pour your energy into someone else's goals. You trade your time for money day after day. And what's the reward? A fixed paycheck, maybe a rise once a year, perhaps a promotion if your timing is right, or if someone ahead of you retires. But even then, what's the real gain? An extra £100, £300 a month, a fancy title that doesn't change your lifestyle, a few more meetings and emails in your calendar. Meanwhile, everything around you is getting more expensive. Groceries, rent, fuel, childcare, the gap between income and expenses grows wider, and you're stuck playing catch up in a game that's rigged against you. You were told that climbing the corporate ladder would bring freedom, fulfillment, and success, but what you actually get is limited growth, capped income, and someone else deciding how much your time is worth. Now, imagine a different route, a system that flips the model on its head. What if instead of being paid by the hour, you get paid based on your performance? What if your income was dictated by your skill, not your seniority? What if you could work from anywhere, laptop, Wi-Fi, no commute, and still earn more than your old 9 to 5 ever allowed? That's the power of remote i-ticket sales, a skill-based career where you can take control of your income, your time, and your lifestyle without having to build a business from scratch. In this video, I'm breaking it all down, how the traditional work model holds you back, what i-ticket remote sales really is, how it works, and how people just like you with no prior experience are using it to rewrite their story. Let's dive in. So let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. For decades, we've been sold the same narrative: go to school, get good grades, earn a degree, land a secure job, climb the corporate ladder, and eventually retire in your 60s, hopefully with enough saved up to enjoy life before your health gives out. The model worked once upon a time during the industrial age, when economies were built around factories, predictable labor, and long-term employment. But here's the reality. The world has changed. Technology, globalization, inflation, the market volatility have completely reshaped the job landscape. And yet, the traditional career path hasn't evolved. This so-called secure job, it's capped. Raises come once a year and are barely enough to match inflation, often just 2 to 3%. Promotions are limited and political. Layoffs happen without no notice. And even after decades of loyalty, there's no guarantees of financial freedom. On top of that, there's no ownership, there's no leverage. You're trading time for money. You build someone else's dream while putting your own on hold. You sacrifice family time, hobbies, health, and even sleep, all for a paycheck that barely covers your monthly expenses. Worst of all, your income is directly tied to your time. If you don't show up, you don't get paid. Want to take a trip? You need permission. Want a raise? You have to wait a year. Ask nicely and hope your manager agrees. It's no wonder so many people feel so stuck, stressed, and burnt out. You're not lazy or unmotivated. You're just trapped in a system that was never designed to make you free. And deep down, most people know this. They just don't know what the alternative looks like yet. Let's shift the conversation from money to time, because time is the one resource you can't get back. Most full-time jobs require at least 40 hours of work per week, but that's just the surface. Add in the time it takes to get ready in the morning, commute to and from work, decompress after a long day, and easily looking at around 50 to 60 hours dedicated to your job every single week. Now let's do the maths. That's over 2,500 hours per year. Multiply that by 40 years and you spend over 100,000 hours of working your life for someone else's dream. And what do you get in return? 2 days off per week, a handful of public holidays, maybe 2 or 4 weeks of vacation if you're lucky. You spend more time at work than with your family and your kids, or even doing what you love. And what's worse, most of your energy is used by the time you get home. You're exhausted. You're exhausted on Friday, you're anxious on Sunday, and before you know it, you're back on the grind again. Just a rat cycle. This isn't freedom, it's survival. It's costing people their health, their happiness, and their potential. The harsh truth: time is more valuable than money. But once your time is spent, is gone. That's why remote iTicket sales isn't just a way to earn more, it's a way to live more. It allows you to reclaim your time and reinvest into what matters: your family, your health, your creativity, your peace. Time freedom is the real goal, and this model makes it possible. So what exactly is remote iTicket sales, and why is it such a game changer? At its core, iTicket sales means selling premium products or services that typically range from $3,000 to over $20,000. This could be coaching programs, consulting offers, online courses, software solutions. The key is these offers deliver high value and the buyers are serious. Now here's where you come in. As a remote closer, you don't need to generate leads, run ads, or deliver the service. You step into an already established business that has warm inbound leads and a strong offer. And your job is to conduct the sales call and guide prospects to a confident buying decision. You learn how to ask the right questions, you understand buyer psychology, you build rapport, you uncover real pain points and help people make a decision that changes their lives. And the best part, you're compensated based on performance, not hours. Instead of being chained to a desk for 8 hours a day, you might only have 3 to 5 calls per day and still earn more than most full-time employees. You work remotely on your own schedule. All you need is Wi-Fi and a laptop and the ability to communicate clearly. That's it. This is a skill-based, recession-resistant career. It's modern, it's scalable, and it's increasingly in demand because more and more online businesses are waking up to how powerful great closers really are. Let's break down how the model works step by step. Imagine a coaching business offers a $5,000 program that helps people build a business, get fit, or improve their finances. That business runs ads, drives traffic to a webinar, collects applications, and books in sales calls. You're the person who takes those calls. You don't cold call strangers, you're speaking to warm, qualified leads, people who have already shown interest and actively seeking a solution. On the call, the job is simple. Ask simple questions, understand their pain points, identify whether the offer is a fit, handle objections with empathy and posture, help them say yes if it's the right decision. Each time you close a deal, you earn a commission, typically 10 to 20%. So for a $5,000 offer, that's $500 to $1,000 in your pocket. Close just 3 to 5 deals a week and you're hitting $6,000 to $20,000 a month. And remember, you're doing this from home or in a cafe or in Bali or in Dubai or any other country. You're location independent and performance driven. That's the leverage most people dream of but never knew existed. Let's do a straight comparison side by side between the traditional 9-to-5 job and remote iTicket closing. Time: 9 to 5, you're working 8+ hours a day, 5 days a week, no matter what. iTicket, you work around your schedule, typically 3 to 5 calls per day. If you close more effectively, you earn more in less time. Income: 9 to 5, your salary is capped. No matter how hard you work, there's a limit. iTicket, you get paid per result, there's no cap. More closes equals more money. 9 to 5, you're tied in a location, an office, a city, or a site. iTicket, you're remote, you can work anywhere in the world. Growth: 9 to 5, you're climbing the ladder so slow, it's political and there's uncertainty. iTicket, your skill equals your growth. The more you close, the faster you grow. Fulfillment: 9 to 5, you're doing tasks and attending meetings that often feel meaningless. iTicket, you're having real conversations, helping people change their lives and getting rewarded for it. Once you see the full comparison laid out, it's obvious which path gives you more freedom, more income, and more potential. Let's bring all this theory down to earth and look at 2 real people, Sam and Lewis, and how they use this model to completely change their lives. Lewis was working a traditional 9-to-5 sales job, the one where you're always on the phone, always pitching, and always being micromanaged. He was putting in long hours, hitting his targets, and doing everything he was supposed to do, but his earnings did not reflect it. He was bringing in consistent results for this company, yet still taking home a modest paycheck. Promotions were rare, raises were small, and even with experience, he still felt stuck in the loop. Then he discovered iTicket remote sales. He realized he could take the exact same skill set, communication, persuasion, following up, and use it in an environment that actually rewarded performance. He trained up, made a leap, and started closing high-value offers. Today, Lewis earns $8,000 per month entirely remote. No office, no manager breathing down his neck, no commute, just performance-based pay, time flexibility, and total lifestyle control. Now let's talk about Sam. Sam was a bricklayer. His job was physical, demanding, and unforgiving. He was out in the cold, rain and heat, pushing his body to the limit for a paycheck that barely covered his bills. He made around $1,500 a month, and despite how hard he worked, there was no realistic way to scale that income. The harder he worked, the more exhausted he got, with no real increase in his earnings. Being trained in high-ticket closing, got his first remote offer, and started closing deals from home. No sales background, no tech experience, just a willingness to learn and implement. Today, Sam earns around £4,400 a month, nearly triple what he made before, while working fewer hours in a far more sustainable way. These stories aren't outliers. They're proof that what's possible when you stop settling for a broken system and start mastering an high income skill. Let's address the biggest myths and objections when they hear about high ticket sales. My background isn't in sales. Can I still do this? Absolutely. Some of the best closers out here today had no prior sales experience. Why? Because closing at an high level isn't about using fancy scripts or being pushy. It's about emotional intelligence. It's about listening, understanding where someone's at, and helping them make a clear, empowered decision. If you're someone who cares about helping others and can follow a structure and are open to coaching, you can thrive in this. I want something stable. This one's tricky because on the surface, a 9-to-5 job does feel more stable. But let's be honest, is it really? We've all seen layoffs, restructuring, people being let go without warning in a traditional job. Your income is fixed and your control is minimal. With high ticket sales, your skill equals your stability. You're in control, and that's real security. Isn't the market saturated? Not even close. Every single day, more coaches, consultants, and service providers are launching offers online. They've got the leads. A lot of them. They've got the traffic, but they don't have trained closers. That's where you come in. If you can show up with a structure, presence, and consistency, you'll never run out of opportunities. I'm not a people person. You don't have to be an introvert to succeed in sales. In fact, introverts often outperform others because they're great listeners and more thoughtful with their words. What matters more than personality is your willingness to learn the process, follow a proven structure, and build emotional connections with prospects. How to get started, a simple path to your first 10K. So you're convinced, you're seeing the opportunity. The next step is, how do you actually get started? Step 1, learn the psychology of closing. Understand how people make buying decisions. It's not about being clever, it's about understanding. It's about understanding their fears, goals, and internal beliefs. Great closers don't push people into a decision. They guide them to clarity. Step 2, master the call structure. Every successful high-ticket sales call follows a pattern. Open strong, ask discovery questions, dig into the problem, present the offer clearly, and handle objections calmly. There's a science and an art to it, and once you master it, the results will explode. Step 3, practice real conversations. You can read books, watch training videos, listen to podcasts, but until you get on real calls and build that muscle, your confidence won't grow. The best way to improve fast is real conversations, real feedback, and real learning. Step 4, plug into a proven offer. This is the key. You don't want to cold DM strangers or pitch random products. You want to close for a business that already has leads, a system, and a strong product. That's how you focus on closing, not chasing. Step 5, track your numbers and improve. Sales is a data game. How many calls are you taking? What's your close rate? What are your prospects dropping off? When you track your metrics, you can then identify what to tweak and more consistent progress towards your 10K a month benchmark. Here's the truth. You don't need to build a personal brand. You don't need to be a social media influencer. You don't need to spend hours learning marketing, funnels, or product creation. What you need is one powerful skill that pays you based on value and not time. Remote high ticket sales is that skill. It's simple, it's scalable, and it's changed thousands of lives, including mine, Sam's, and Lewis. And now it's your turn. Click the link in the description. You can book a free one-to-one strategy call. On the call, we'll cover where you are now, where you want to be, and our iTicket sales can be the bridge to that next level. No fluff, no pressure, just clarity, a roadmap and real action steps. This is the moment where everything can shift. Let's make it happen.